Lord have mercy. I thought I was live. I am so sorry, y'all. I am so sorry. Hello, Summer. Hello, Millie. Hello, anybody coming in. I did not expect to go live again. I apologize. I thought I was live too. And anyway, I'm not. We have had some breaking news on a different case. And, unfortunately, they found Lorie Paige's body. And, yeah, they just announced that a couple of hours ago. So Lorie has been found deceased, and I wanted to come on here since this is a very close case to me. And, yeah, so let's just go over this a little bit together. I am shaking. I am literally freaking shaking right now. Let me just, and I'm just learning this too, so let's just go over this, and I'm learning as you are, but it does not look good. Whew. Let me take a deep breath here. Hold on. Oh, shoot. Hold on just a minute. Oh my God. Hold on. Just hold on, y'all. Hold the freak up. Hold on. First of all, I got to share it. Just hold on. Hey, Barbara. Hello, everybody coming in. Hold on, y'all. I got to take a breath. This is, whew. Hold on. Oh my God, don't tell me it's going to be.
Breaking news in Tallahassee, a bombshell announcement this afternoon, an arrest in the disappearance and murder of missing 12-year-old Lorie Paige.
12 years old.
Trusted, local. WCTV Eyewitness News starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Julie Montanaro. Tallahassee's police chief announcing within the last hour that they found Lorie Paige's remains last week and arrested her father for her murder. The announcement comes nearly 2 years after Lorie Paige was last seen. For months, one of her middle school teachers continuing to sound the alarm bells that something wasn't right, and that has turned out to be terribly true. Our Matt Hoffman is live at TPD headquarters right now with more on this afternoon's shocking announcement. Matt.
Yeah, Julie. So just to recap, the Tallahassee police chief announcing the arrest of Lorie Paige's father, Andrew Wiley, just within the last hour or so. Wiley now faces a second-degree murder charge, which will move through court. Paige's case made changes here inside TPD headquarters, where officers since dropped the use of the term runaway in missing person flyers. Wiley's arrest came together quickly after police searched a rural area of Thomas County, Georgia, called the Plantation again. Within just 4 days of that secondary search, Paige's remains were confirmed by the crime lab.
I told you 2 years ago we would never give up. I told you 2 years ago we would find Lorie and we would bring her home. I told you 2 years ago that we would find who did this and we would arrest them and bring them to justice. And today I stand before you to tell you we have done just that.
Wiley's arrest was announced at a hastily scheduled press conference this afternoon. We will keep you updated, of course, as the case works its way through the court process. For now, outside TPD headquarters, I'm Matt Hoffman, WCTV Eyewitness News.
Thank you so much, Matt. And we are still working to learn more about when and where her father was arrested. We'll share those details when we can. We do want to give you a brief timeline of the events from the moment Lorie went missing to today's major announcement about her remains being found. On June 3rd, 2023, Lorie's father, Andrew Wiley, reported her missing. At the time, he claimed she left home with her backpack sometime overnight while he was at work. From that summer through early last year, detectives worked hundreds of leads across state lines, but Lorie was never found, and authorities say Wiley's story started to show inconsistencies. In February of 2024, officials seized a phone from Wiley's house, and questionable internet searches surfaced about remote areas with bodies of water in Alabama and Georgia. Detectives started shifting their focus toward Lorie's father in March of 2024. Early last year, they searched a remote brush-covered area of Thomas County multiple times, but found no results. Last Saturday, however, after a prescribed burn cleared heavy brush in that same area, detectives went back for another search, and they did find human remains. Those remains have now been identified as those of Lorie Paige. We've covered many efforts to find Lorie over the past 2 years, including a search at San Luis Park in February 2024 near where she was last seen.
I literally
Officers
want to
searched
puke,
wooded
Ginger.
areas there, and as you can see, they sent the dive team into Lake Esther, but they did not find any sign of the missing 12-year-old at that time. Billboards went up in February 2024 about the same time as the FBI announced a $15,000 reward for information about Lorie's disappearance and whereabouts. This billboard was in Tallahassee. Others went up across Florida, Georgia, and Tennessee. We're going to have much more on this breaking story throughout the evening, and you can read more right now on our website and our free news app as well.
Yeah, so her daddy did it. He sure did. Yeah, remember I went there, and I also spoke with her daddy twice right here on my live. And I knew he was a lying son of a bitch, especially the second time that I spoke to him. The second time I spoke to him. The time that I went, please get Pink Birdo the hell out of my fucking chat right now. Get him out of here. Block him. Block him. Block him. Yeah, the first time when I went and didn't even realize I was pretty much on her doorstep. And the girl told me to go back there. And I remember the friend of the guy that we later found also in my life that was playing dice with her daddy. Y'all remember that? Was playing dice outside with her daddy, having a little party. Y'all remember that? Like nothing was going on. Nothing. Sickening. Sickening. She was 12 years old. And those neighbors, some of those neighbors didn't even know she existed. If it was not for her teacher and the pastor going around, she would not even have been absolutely reported missing. Period. Period. We were all hoping and praying so much that teacher, because she had so many adopted kids, could adopt Lorie. Even when I went out to the parks and spoke with the public and everything else, everybody that I talked to Everybody that I spoke with brought that teacher up and said they hoped and prayed that her teacher would get to adopt her. She was the only reason Lorie was brought to the forefront. Her mama played games. You seen her mama. Her mama was there the night before arguing with her dad, but they didn't say anything yet. It looks like ICU, she was found in Georgia, which they said she had ties in Georgia. That's probably where her dad took her. Remember, he told me he had transferred his job up to Georgia. Remember that? Remember that? It's really wild. I'm going to read this little part here. This is from the Tallahassee Democrat. A sad day. Missing child Lorie Paige found dead. Father charged in murder. The Tallahassee Police Department on Friday revealed that Lorie Paige, the subject of a missing child case police have been working on for nearly 2 years, was found dead. The Griffin middle schooler went missing June 2023. She was 12 years old at the time. Police, the FBI, community volunteers, and her family have been searching for answers ever since. Tallahassee Police Department Chief Lawrence Revel announced at press conference that they recovered the remains of Lorie Paige after the burn revealed her remains in a remote brush-covered area of Thomas County. Thomas County, Georgia. That's where she was at, Thomas County, Georgia. But the way that Georgia is set up from where that is, I think it was only maybe 40 minutes or something like that. It wasn't that far. He said, I told you 2 years ago I would find Lorie and we would bring her home. Adding, this was a sad day. I told you 2 years ago that we would find her and we would find who did this and we would arrest them and bring them to justice. And today I stand before you to tell you we have done just that. He said they arrested her father, 36-year-old Andrew Wiley, who originally reported her missing after investigators pursued hundreds of leads across multiple states in an exhaustive investigation. He was arrested on a second-degree murder charge. When Lorie first disappeared, her mother frequently took to social media. If you haven't saw that, I don't know if it's still there. Don't waste your time. That is the craziest. One flew over the cuckoo's nest shit I've ever seen in my life. Just don't even bother. But anyway, when Lorie first disappeared, her mother frequently took to social media to share all that she knew about the case and her dissatisfaction with Tallahassee Police Department investigation. When I told you all, when I said to them, this is where you need to check, this is where you need to what you need to do, you all are pulling out dogs and helicopters and all this explosive words weeks later, she said. So she's blaming the Tallahassee Police Department. And she pointed out that Lorie was last in her father's custody. If she had Lorie, she would know where she was at, is what she said. Hey, Army vet. In my opinion, Tallahassee did the best job that they could do. She absolutely did. They absolutely did. And if I remember correctly, her mother may not have had nothing to do with this, but her mother was up there the night before fighting with her father. And she was on social media talking about, oh, well, if she's out there getting trafficked or getting this, that, and the other, so what? It happened to me. I think that was her words. Just saying. Army vet said last February Wally's phone was seized and analyzed, which showed questionable internet searches, including searches about remote areas with bodies of water in Alabama and Georgia. Oh my. Oh my. Mm. Mm-mm. Wiley originally claimed that she left home with a backpack in the night while he was at work. Within the first year, detectives never found Lorie, and Wiley's story started to show inconsistencies. The case evolved significantly over time, with key developments ultimately leading to Wiley's arrest. Last February, Wiley's phone was seized and analyzed, which showed questionable internet searches, including searches about remote areas, there you go, with bodies of water in Alabama and Georgia. Investigators switched their focus to Wiley and began searching a remote brush-covered area in Thomas County, Georgia, known locally as Plantation. Several searches yielded no results until a search February 5th, after a prescribed burn cleared some of the underbrush, allowed a dog from North Florida search team, and they located her. Very sad. Very sad. First responders conducted a grid search back in the first 8 months of her disappearance and the last place she was seen. Back then, Tallahassee Police Department said, after exhausting all their options to learn anything that might help them find Lorie, the detectives were relentless, trying to dig anything up that could point them to Lorie's whereabouts. Friday, they stood with that statement. They said Lorie's case was much more complicated than other missing children's cases because she lacked a digital footprint without social phone or social media. So, sounds like another case, you know. She left. She didn't have any social media or digital footprints either. You know. Moreover, her family dynamic was complicated. The family members are spread out across 3 different states, Florida, Tennessee, and Georgia. Rudy Ferguson, a Griffin Heights pastor and neighborhood advocate, was among community members and law enforcement who packed the Tallahassee Police Department. You know, he was always there with the press conference, stuff like that. You've seen him. Good guy. I've talked to him. Good guy. You know, him and the teacher was always on it. Him and her teacher was always on it. While this was grim news, we were hoping we didn't get on the other side of, we're grateful that we do have this information, he said. It brings some sense of closure, but it also reminds us that there's work to be done in the community to safeguard our children, to protect them, to love on them. Her teacher, Maggie Summers, a paraprofessional at Griffin Middle School, said Lorie was really a nice kid who seemed to pour much of her energy into school. Because of her troubled life at home, she was smart, attentive, and took notes in civics and science classes, even while other kids were goofing off. They said Lorie loved school. They did say that, and they said she was very smart. They also said, from when I was talking to the neighbors and stuff, Lorie got off the bus and even the kids was playing around, talking and joking and stuff. Lorie never talked to them. She kept to herself. Kept to herself. When the kids come out in the street and all that and played, and there's plenty of kids around there, Lorie never did. Like I said, some neighbors didn't even know Lorie even existed, which was sad. It says, after a number of students failed a civics test, they were given a chance to improve their grade by doing poster board assignment on the Bill of Rights. Lorie had gotten an A on the test, but still threw herself into the extra work. Wow. Lorie comes in with a trifold cardboard masterpiece, Summer said. She had little soldiers glued to the board. She had little American flags all across the top of it. It was like this work of art, and it was all she could do to improve her A. And I'm like, Lorie, you actually can't improve an A. God, can y'all imagine? Summers told Lorie, Summers said Lorie had been in the custody of the Department of Children and Families when she was very young. About a month before she disappeared, she ran away from home. She apparently stayed by a pool at an apartment complex, so friends brought her food. She didn't want to miss school, so she left there and wherever she'd been hiding, and she showed up at school barefoot. So see, that's something else we talked about. The time that she did run away, hell, she went to school. That's why we knew she didn't run away. She went to school. She even showed up barefoot. She loved school. But her dad, at that time, came and got her. Her teacher said, I should say, the murderer came and got her. Summer said Lorie never confided in her about what was going on at home. We just knew that there was some conflict at home, she said. She told other kids she wasn't happy. On the 12th day of Lorie's disappearance, Summers reached out to Ferguson, who helped publicize Lorie's disappearance. She, Ferguson, and Patty Wilson, a co-host of Patty's Playhouse radio show, spent months trying to locate Lorie and get the word out about her disappearance. Summers was struggling to process the news after learning about her death Friday. I still think she's alive, and I just want to go find her, she said. The words Lorie and remains just don't go together at all. I can't pair those two words yet. So, yeah, I guess we will be following this case, and I wanted to bring it to you because this just come out. There was a lot when I went there. It's very sad. Hello, everybody coming in. Thank you for being here. And I hate she lost her life at the hands of that monster. I really do. And I hope he gets everything he deserves. I honestly do. I guess more will be coming out. Will he get bail? He's not going to fare too well in there because he was a correctional officer, right? At least that's what the story was. So, yeah, at least she can be laid to rest properly. And that's the main thing. So, thank you all who has cared and followed this case for almost 2 years now. Almost 2 years. June would be 2 years. So, I appreciate you stopping in. Thank you so much. And I guess I'll see you again out here on these streets. Keep the faith on everything else, though. And this is why you absolutely cannot give up faith. All right. See y'all later. Bye.